Oh, good morning. You're looking bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I'm Winston A. Marshall, aka the Swaggy Blurred, and Senor Kristian Harloff has some stuff going on today, so I will be taking over. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing this by myself. I've got Chris Carr with me, so you don't have to fret. Now, we got a lot to talk about, man. Apparently, we are getting the Avengers Doomsday trailer a lot earlier than expected. Peacemaker's season finale teaser shows a lot. Kind of shows the multiverse very quickly. I actually think I spoke about this on my channel, but I actually think that we're going to find out about this new big bad for Superman a little early. Constantine star Keanu Reeves says another draft of the sequel script is complete. DC has two more films and a series coming soon. The Punisher actor Ben Barnes throws his cowl in the ring to play Batman. An F1 star, Tobias Menzies, eyed to play a surprising character from Gotham's past in the Batman Part 2. We got a lot to talk about. We're also going to do a little bit of a recap, spoiler free, but a little recap of this last Peacemaker episode, man. We got a lot to get to, so let's not waste any time. Let's just get into it, man. Let's have a good old time today. It's me, it's Chris, it's Capes and Cowls, baby. Booyah! Welcome back to Capes and Cowls. As I mentioned before, I am Winston A. Marshall, aka the Swaggy Blurred, and I am joined by the wonderful, the incomparable, the greatest thing that's happened since sliced bread, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about Chris Carr in the building. What's up, Chris?
Since sliced bread?
Yes, ma'am. And I can't eat carbs no more.
My guy, you and me both. I'm still on my baking bread kick, so I'm just baking bread for people and being like,
I don't know what to do with it. Just take it out of my house. Just take it out of my house.
Here you go. Here you go. I'm just a hobbit on a diet is not a fun thing.
It's fair. Not. Wait a minute. You're not short though. What are you talking about?
I just feel like I'm living a hobbit lifestyle. You know?
Do they also not eat bread? That would literally.
They do. They do eat so much bread. That's why I'm saying I'm being a bad one.
Oh, okay.
I just feel very hobbity. I'm 5'6". I'm not short, but I'm also not tall.
Well, that's the only reason why I was confused. Is I was like, you're definitely not short, and hobbits are short. Like,
it's just the internet. Once they saw me with my natural hair, was like, that's a hobbit.
Do you have hairy feet? Is that what you're also telling me too? Because that's the last part of
oh my god, Logan and I actually just did a video where I was like, I think people think I'm a hobbit because they keep asking me for feet pics. Is that for proof? And he's like, don't email them. Don't talk to them.
Look, only toes. Go make that money. Anyways, let's go ahead and go on to our first story. And it is, as I mentioned previously, that the Avengers Doomsday trailer, the first one, is apparently closer than we think. Now, this is Josh Wilding from Comic Book Movie. Avengers Doomsday was originally scheduled to be released in theaters next May. The same month, every other movie starring Earth's Mightiest Heroes has found such huge success. To give the Russo brothers more time to deliver two of the final chapters of Marvel Studios' multiverse saga, the movie is now headed our way next December. Avengers Secret Wars will follow in December 27 in what's shaping up to be a relatively quiet Phase 6. Only Spider-Man Brand New Day is sandwiched between them. Despite this significant delay, it sounds like we'll get a first look at Avengers Doomsday much sooner than expected. According to scooper Daniel Richtman, a first look will be attached to Avatar Fire and Ash when it arrives in theaters December 19th. We'd bet on that preview being a theater exclusive, not dissimilar to how the Avatar threequel and Christopher Nolan's Odyssey were teased. An online release is sure to follow, of course, and bootlegs will inevitably leak. Rickman has a solid track record, particularly with trailers, so we'd say there's likely something to this rumor. A year between a trailer and the movie's release may seem like a lot, but Disney needs to restore faith in the MCU in a brief sneak peek, even if it's just a few snippets of footage and a first look at Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom would go a long way in building excitement. Heck, even if it's a shot of Doom and a glimpse of the Avengers and X-Men scoring off, that's going to be more than enough to make Avengers Doomsday feel like an event, something which doesn't currently seem to be the case with so many big name characters missing from the cast. This impending Avengers Doomsday trailer debut be what the Russo brothers were hinting at in their recent Instagram post. You can take a look below. So let's see right here. It says look hard. Let me see if I can zoom in here so y'all can see that a little better. I can't really tell who that's supposed to be. Maybe Chris knows. So let's bring Chris in. So you hear that? And
I kept acting like I could enhance it. I kept trying to pull the image and was like, I got nothing. Just me yelling it over and over again. Did nothing.
That's genuinely hilarious. So I'm just curious your thoughts on this because, you know, a year out for the trailer. The rumor that it's probably going to be during Avatar. What you hear this? Does it sound like a good marketing plan? Is it too soon? Is it not soon enough? Do you wish they would do it a different way? Like, what are your thoughts, Chris?
Oh, I'm absolutely on board with this plan. And we've talked about this quite a bit, actually, of they need to make this an event again. We need to have a Marvel movie feel like an event. And that's what we're doing here. That's what a good trailer should do, first of all, is just kind of leverage your own curiosity and get you to go in there. It should pique that interest. But in Marvel's case, they also have the challenge. And honestly, I think something to their benefit, if they use it well, is not only do they have to leverage our curiosity, they have to leverage our skepticism. Yep. Because so many people, we've talked about it, are just, you know, we're not as excited these days.
1,000%. I think that's something that they are working against, is the fact that since they don't have the automatic goodwill that they had previously, and you built a little bit back up with Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, but like just based off of box office numbers, it's clearly not where it was. I don't even know what the numbers have been all this year for all the shows, like how well Daredevil, Born Again did, or
I'm not sure.
or anything like that. It feels like maybe not the same impact that they were hoping for per se, but that it, you know, overall they were received relatively well. But yeah, I think that's the thing. I think giving it a year and then maybe we're getting teased throughout the year with random little things.
Yeah.
Depending on how many heroes there are, I almost wouldn't hate a campaign where each month you get like the tiniest teaser, not even full trailers, but like the tiniest teaser of like a character or two, and like really build that up. So like maybe it's like a montage in January of like Professor X, and it's like all these old shots of Professor X in the previous movies, and then you get the one shot of him like, "I will stop you, Doom," or whatever it is. It'll be interesting. I don't know. I'm not a marketing person, so
I love that actually, though. I think that's really smart, especially because one of the biggest criticisms of Marvel at this point is the homework you have to do. Yeah. And I think having a campaign like that of just, hey, like reminder, here are your friends, here's who we're going to see, this is what's going on, I think would do really well for your more average moviegoer. Inside our bubble, we all are like, everyone knows these movies, everyone knows these characters. Not true. I always go back to the mom and dad test of, do you know who that is? Are you aware of who that person is? And if they know, then we're on board. Everyone's doing their job. And I say that as someone like, my dad loves Iron Man. He just doesn't keep up with these. He doesn't read comics. And Iron Man's one of his favorite movies. So if we can get people excited and do something like that, I think that's really, really smart. And that seems to be what they're planning along anyway. I mean, Chairgate, everyone was talking about that forever. I feel like they're going to be giving us little things like this to try to create that excitement.
The amount, just the sheer amount of views and apparently money they made off of those chairs. It gets brought up all the time. I bring it up because somehow Kristian convinced me to sit down and like do a stream with him. He had to go somewhere, so I hung out for a couple of hours, and then he came back and literally just sat here and watched the chairs get unveiled the entire time, man. So
I just kept checking in and was like, what's happening?
Yeah, no. And then we were for a while it was going by a pretty standard plan of the same amount of time each reveal, and then ultimately it wasn't. It was just really, really tedious. I was like, there's got to be something more than this. There has to be something more than this, and it wasn't. All it was Downey at the end, just, and then that's it.
Which I'm still a little annoyed by that one. Of that's the one person I knew was in this movie.
Yeah.
That's exactly who I knew was going to be here. Send me something crazy.
Yeah, I was hoping that too, but I guess they're just trying to keep us off balance. So let us know what you think, y'all. Are you all about that life? Are you trying to see that trailer in December? Or do you think that there's a better strategy that they could have gone with? Let me know what you think in the comments, and let's go ahead and hop right into our next story and a little bit of a review from last night. The Peacemaker season finale teaser finds Chris Smith in familiar surroundings as more multiversal madness ensues. Josh Wilding reporting. Did James Gunn overhype and underdeliver with this week's episode of Peacemaker? While we certainly didn't get to see as much of the show's Nazi-ruled alternate reality as expected, there were still a few surprises found on Earth X. In the first look at next week's season 2 finale, titled Full Nelson, Chris Smith is once again behind bars. The anti-hero wishes to be left alone because he sees himself as the angel of King Death. Rick Flag Sr., meanwhile, is spearheading an exploration of the quantum unfolding chamber's many alternate realities. Argus is after something, but our heroes don't seem convinced that their motivations are entirely pure. With a vengeful Captain Triumph out there, we'd bet on things going wrong quickly, and it's still not clear how any of this will factor into 2027's Man of Tomorrow. If anything, it seems Flag's deal with Lex Luthor is all we're going to get from Peacemaker Season 2 in terms of setup, a surprise when Gunn previously described this series as a prequel to the movie. Overhyping and underdelivering, we'll have to see how things play out next week before deciding on that. Talking about a possible Peacemaker Season 3 last week, the DC Studios co-CEO said, it is not right now. I think that people should, that doesn't mean there aren't plans for these characters, but it's not necessarily Season 3 of Peacemaker, and then people should watch Episode 8 to see what happens, because maybe some of your questions will be answered in that episode by itself. Oh, Lord. It doesn't seem likely that Chris will get a happy ending before the show ends, but his story is rumored to continue in Gunn's Superman sequel. The promo you can watch there. Oh, my God. You guys didn't see son of a this whole time. I apologize. You were just staring at a blank thing in my... Y'all, okay, where's Chris? First of all... Fam, this is why you get sleep. Okay, I went to bed at like 5 last night. I was really struggle bussing, and that's California time, so my brain's a little bit mush. So I apologize for that. I was just sitting here scrolling down. Everybody's following along with me. Nope, just stuck on the old story the whole time, and everybody's probably like, "Is this man slow? What is happening right now?" So, okay. So Chris, first of all, what did you think of last night's episode?
We're going to get through it. It's okay. It's okay. We got this. I thought last night's episode was great. We're not getting into spoiler territory, right?
No, we're going to try to stay away from it, yes.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure. I, again, come back to this is such an excellent character study. This is such an excellent character study of Peacemaker, of his friends, and also of how we all view our own worlds, really, when it comes down to it. And how one person's utopia is obviously another person's worst fear, most people's worst fear. And also, you then have to examine, why is my world so much better than this one? And how is it different? These things are really, really great things that are brought up in the episode. Really well done. And also just how little differences in belief structure, in how you're raised, how your family interacts with one another can make such a huge impact on who you are as an individual. It's not just nurture, it's not just nature. There's so many things. And it's a very heady concept to bring into 30-minute episodes. That's still my only issue, is make these just a little longer for me, James. Make this just a scotch longer, and I have a really great time with these episodes.
I would have loved to have like you probably can't transition it to an hour, but like give me like 45 minutes. And I feel like that would help. And I gotta say, the kind of what you were talking about, it's very interesting how a particular character who we thought very specifically about how they thought about the world, we actually got I think the worldview wrong there. It's not that they are the way that they are, it's that they're contrarian. I think you know who I'm talking about. It's just that they're contrarian, and because of that, we actually had a surprise reveal that ended up pretty tragic. So like I won't say anything more than that for those that haven't seen it yet, but that really got me. And then I agree. I'm seeing people in the chat saying that there's one particular moment where where John Cena yells stop at something that all of his friends are doing. and they were like, that is maybe the best acting they've ever seen out of Cena. Not that he's a bad actor, but it was so like viscerally real.
It was
that like he
raw.
was clearly feeling it. It was pretty crazy.
He has really stepped up, and I'm so glad he has this role. And he's so complimentary and thankful to James Gunn each time too, talking about this.
Yeah.
Of just, he's changed my life. He gave me this incredible role, and he has absolutely just taken to it like a fish to water. Of just,
Absolutely.
I gotta deliver, and not only the great fun moments of Peacemaker, but those really tragic and heartbreaking ones. Which that's what Peacemaker is. It's a tragedy, and also furthering the anime intro of everything.
Yeah.
Have you heard the theories about that, of what the dance is and everything?
I think everybody's gonna die.
Well,
I just from the standpoint of them, because in the first one it was all very like, hey, we did it, and then this one it's everybody lying down and they're capped, and if that's the case, it sounds like the only one that maybe lives is Eagly or something. I don't know.
He's got a primal eagle, got to keep going.
He's a prime eagle. He's got to keep going.
But the arm movements and everything, people have made these theories of that was letting us know right from the jump. Oh,
yes,
that's what we're seeing.
That's what you meant. Yes, that they were essentially doing interpretive dance like swastikas. Yes, I do know what you're talking
even
about.
The lines in the background.
I thought you meant, but yes, that too. I saw that too.
Yeah.
And especially the alternate versions of them were hitting it pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I
rewatching it this week, I felt dumb.
I mean, yeah, the first time I rewatched it, I was like, bro, it was right there.
Yep.
It was right there. But that's part of why I was like, let me like really look at this dance again. I don't necessarily think that they're all gonna die, but I think part of what interests me as what is this as a tease and lead up into Man of Tomorrow. I actually think that Brainiac is actually going to be coming from a different dimension, and Argus deciding to poke through all these stupid dimensions like idiots is what's going to do it. And especially because you already in the last episode had that deal with Lex. We met another person on Lex's team. I won't say more than that in this episode. I think that there's going to be some sort of tie there where and the person that we met actually also brought up the difference between what Lex was doing in Superman and what Peacemaker has been able to do as far as dimension hopping. Again, it's not ruining anything. It's just kind of a basic whatever. I think that that's how they're going to end up accidentally letting a horrible thing happen. And part of that tipped me off in that teaser. Did you see the teaser?
Yeah.
So Argus is going through all these different dimensions, and it's some effed up stuff in there. I genuinely think they're about to unleash a horror on themselves like idiots. And then at first Lex is maybe like, haha, dumbasses. And then he's like, oh no, this is bad for everybody. That's kind of what my gut is telling me. I don't know what you think about that theory one way or the other though.
I love that. I think I'm going way too literal with the portal part of it, because my brain right now is only like, it's Darkseid. It's Darkseid. That's the only thing I can think of. But I don't think that's the next step in where the DCU is going.
Right.
So I just also have to kind of shake off my DC canon and go, it's movies. It could be whatever they want to do. They don't have to stick to a blueprint.
Right. And well, my other thought why it wouldn't be Darkseid, it's not to say that Darkseid doesn't have the tech to dimension hop and whatnot, but it typically with like the boom tubes and all that, it's within the same universe. Like,
yeah, that's true.
He's not dimension hopping, so that's the only thing. And it's not that this portal couldn't, in theory, show you another door to the same universe. Like that, that technically could be possible, but it just, for whatever reasons, it feels like one in, one out. That's the only thing to me. Now, mind you, we may see a Darkseid from another dimension. I could see that happening potentially. But I agree with you. I feel like we maybe don't want to immediately jump to Darkseid. We want to kind of leave that alone for a while. But I don't know, y'all. What do you think? What'd you think about this past episode? Are you excited for the season finale? What do you think is going to be the big tie-in between Man of Tomorrow and Peacemaker? Do you think we've already gotten it just by having Lex show up in the last, not this episode, but the one before? Or do you think that we are going to get introduced to a big bad in one of these other dimensions? Let us know what you're thinking, man, in the comments. Get in there, throw it down. I forgot to mention we are where's Chris? We are looking at 161 on the super chats. That's what we have to beat today. I don't even know who that is, but they apparently kicked a lot of ass. So please be sure to send in your theories, your comments, your questions on what you think is going on in either the marketing for Doomsday or this or any of the stories that we're talking about. And for now, I would love for you to hear this awesome message from our two sponsors today, True Classic and Nutrafol.
All right, I have to tell you guys straight honest truth here. True Classic, it's one of my favorite brands maybe ever. Birthday is coming up. It's actually going to be this week when you're seeing this. And truth told, friends and family, just get me True Classic. I love it. I love the shirts. I love the pants. I love everything about it. And they just started with a simple mission. It was to bring premium, comfortable clothing to the masses because looking great should come with a designer price. So clearly people agree. People are voting with their dollars. True Classic has sold over 25 million shirts to more than 5 million customers and racking up over 200,000 five-star reviews. Mine is one of them. This brand isn't just about fabric or fit. It's about helping guys show up every day with confidence and purpose. I can tell you right now that I wear, whether I'm wearing this black t-shirt to the gym, if I'm wearing one of their shirts to a screening, I'm going to an event on Monday I have to go, I'm wearing True Classic. I really do feel the difference and people have noticed it right away when I walk in a room. They say some stuff. It's just, it's amazing. It's tailored for when you want it. It's relaxed when you need it. No bunching, no stiff fabric, no BS. Clean, effortless fit that actually works for real life. So forget about the overpriced designer brands. Skip the cheap throwaway stuff. True Classic is built for comfort, built to last, and built to give back. You can find them on Amazon, Target, Costco, Sam's Club, or head to trueclassic.com/Kristian to try them out for yourself. Help me out by getting them, and you're guaranteed to help yourself out. True Classic, the absolute best. I love talking to you guys about Nutrafol. They are the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand and is trusted by over 1.5 million people. You feel great about what you're putting into your body since Nutrafol hair growth supplements are backed by peer-reviewed studies and NSF content certified. It's the gold standard in third-party certification for supplements. I'm telling you, Nutrafol is no joke. You see the results. Roxy was talking about it not too long ago. She's been using it. She sees the results. You see thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping. When you go to Nutrafol.com, you got to enter the promo code Kristian. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com. That is spelled Nutrafol.com. Use the promo code Kristian. Nutrafol.com, promo code Kristian.
Thank you so much to True Classic and Nutrafol. Y'all definitely check those out. I am a big fan of True Classic. I remember when we had them as a sponsor back on the SEN Live days, and they sent me over some of them shirts. And whew, they is nice, man. I'm telling you, it's so soft. And they actually did a pretty good job of giving that, like they said, the way they tailor it, it does fit and kind of give the optical illusion. So for us heftier boys, you know, it genuinely makes you look pretty good. I feel like Kristian just liked it because he was giving me his workout regimen yesterday after we finished taping Demon Slayer. Brody is jacked now. It's actually kind of terrifying. Like, he even told me, he's like, bro, I'm 50 now and I feel like as good or better than I did in college. And I'm like, good for you, but also Jesus. Like,
yeah.
Like, I was talking about how I don't like to do abs. He's like, oh man, you got to do abs. Like, you got to do them. And then he was like, look, I'm starting to develop a V. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
He's getting a Tyrese crease? Good job, Kristian.
Is that what you call it?
Well, that's the polite thing I can call it. There's another term that I'm not going to say on the internet.
No, don't do that. No, especially not this show of all shows, because it definitely I got in a lot of trouble back in the day for how much swearing I used to do on the show. So definitely
I am trying to keep things so Sesame Street. My brain is not my ally.
So before we go on to the next story, I did actually want to point out a comment I saw that I thought was maybe brilliant. What if they see the DCEU dark side? And then as soon as they go, oh no, and then just like immediately just destroy the door, like get the hell out of here. I actually thought that would be kind of a funny little nod one way or the other.
I love that.
But I'm curious. I'm curious what you think.
I think that's great. If we can just see maybe even the moment of the flash vortex and then just
nope.
Nope.
Hell no.
Done.
Oh man. Well, no, good theory. I like that. I like
it.
that. But yes, keep sending in the super chats. We are starting off not as strong, and I get it. It was his birthday. We're starting off with 3. So please go ahead and send those in, y'all.
I asked the chat, Winston, are we jerks if we try to beat a birthday record?
No.
Okay.
No, because ultimately, like, obviously we're working towards like winning, because then there's like a little bonus for us. That's a great birthday present for Kristian. That's technically all his money coming in. So no, you're just expanding his birthday. That's how I read that personally.
That's true. That's true.
But anyways, our next story, Constantine star Keanu Reeves says another draft of the sequel script is complete and that fingers are crossed. Mark Cassidy. Shortly after James Gunn announced the first chapter of the new DCU slate, Gods and Monsters, rumors began to circulate that a direct sequel to Constantine was in the works, and Warner Bros. Would later confirm that the project was indeed in the early stages of development. Since then, we've had conflicting reports relating to this movie's status, and the news that Gunn and Peter Safran have decided to shelve or cancel outright a number of planned projects led to speculation that Constantine 2 would likely be among them. However, director Francis Lawrence later confirmed that the project was still in the works. The truth is, somewhere around the 15th anniversary or something, we did a Zoom, and we all were discussing trying to get it up and going again. And again, we were just more active with it and finally got it past all these hurdles. And so we are now actively working on a script. So it's really not that it's just like, oh yeah, now we think the world is ready for it. I certainly think there is a bigger fan base, and certainly it's become a kind of a cult classic, which has been really exciting to see and very strange, but it's something we've always loved. Now we're in a spot where we are actively working on a script. And so we have been thinking about it. He went on. We had also been given an R rating on the first Constantine when we kind of made a PG-13 movie and followed all the PG-13 rules. So we're like, fuck it, let's go and and do a sequel and really make an R-rated movie. Give us an R. Let's make it a real R-rated movie, which would be fire. We know that a finished script doesn't necessarily mean that a project will actually enter production, but star Keanu Reeves has now shared another positive update. Fingers crossed, another draft of the script came in. We're going to take it to the studio, and hopefully they like it too, the actor told Fandango while doing promotion for Good Fortune, which I very much want to see. We're not sure if this potential sequel would be part of the DCU or an Elseworlds project like Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2, but we'd say the latter is more likely. The first Constantine received mixed reviews when it was released back in 2005, and despite an Americanized interpretation of the gross magic wielder and a few more liberties with the source material, fans reacted well to Reeves' take on the anti-hero, and the movie has gained a strong following ever since. All right, Chris, I am not sure how you are as a Constantine fan, and specifically as a Keanu Reeves Constantine fan. Are you one of the people out here in these streets hoping for a Constantine 2? Do you hope it's connected? Do you think it's going to be, across the board? And I see someone saying I got in trouble for cursing and I cursed. I was reading the story. All right. I told you my brain is slow today. But Chris, what do you think about the Constantine 2?
I have to apologize because I don't think my mic was muted, and I was trying to drink my coffee and I muttly laughed so bad of just like, whoo, that really got me. So I might get my nerd card taken away because I never saw the Keanu Constantine. I never saw that one. I know. I need to add it to the list. Could you do that as a reaction video?
You probably should, actually. I think that would go hard. I will be honest with you. I saw it for the first time during the pandemic. It was a movie that a friend of mine, because I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I remember Constantine coming out in 2005, but that was what? If it was fall 2005, then I was going into my senior year of high school. So I had like kind of other stuff on my mind, and I didn't know at the time that Constantine was a DC character. So it just didn't even register. And then during the pandemic, my friend was like, oh yeah, it's the 15th anniversary of Constantine. And I was like, Constantine? They were like, you've never seen it? I was like, nah, I never bothered. And they were like, but you're the superhero guy. And I was like, oh shit, that's the same Constantine from DC Comics, isn't it? They're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, all right, let's watch it. And I really liked the movie. Now, I understand why it got mixed reviews, and I understand why it was a cult classic. It is not, you're not going to sit there and go, damn, this is absolute cinema. But at the same time, it is really well done. It is kind of set its own tone and world. It reminds me a lot of like Underworld, as far as just like,
ooh, okay,
not as Underworld at times seems like very like pop punk Matrix kind of like era. It's not quite that. It really is like a take Neo from the Matrix as far as Keanu's acting at that time, and then just straight up throw him in a cult shit, except he understands it more than like I'm discovering it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because the Matrix, he's like each step, he's like, whoa, okay, I know kung fu. Whoa, I'm the one. Whoa, yeah, Oracle, I know that now. Versus this, he clearly understands what's going on the whole time, and just he plays the tortured soul of Constantine well. But I would highly recommend you watch it, and maybe that's for the reaction. You guys should do that. You know,
because I love the character. I'm a huge fan. I first got introduced to him by reading Sandman. And so then I saw him in those stories, obviously. And then I became so obsessed with all of the Justice League Dark stuff. I love Zatanna and I love Etrigan. And if Constantine, even if it's an Elseworlds movie, is a gateway to me getting those characters, particularly Etrigan, I am very excited about that. Because I love that side of this universe, especially because we sometimes have Batman dive into that kind of world a little bit. We know that magic is something that Superman does not handle well. And so I feel like it's a really cool thing to add into the fold. So I'd love to see more of it. And if it just means we're getting Keanu doing a version of it, I'm here for it.
Absolutely. It's the funny thing is what I really love about the Justice League Dark like scenario and everything is the fact that it is a reminder that yes, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, which Wonder Woman can handle magic decently well just based on her origins, but like the three of them really aren't the end all be all to like save the world. Like they are in most cases. Punch hard, think hard, like sure, but there are definitely times where they are outclassed, and I think that is also important. You know what I mean? That there is sure they can handle like 90% of the stuff, but what do you do when that 10% is actually the most dangerous? And we're like, I would say probably my favorite DC animated movie is the Justice League Dark. I think it's called Justice League Dark Apocalypse. And that was where they essentially ended that run of DC animated universe movies based off the New 52. And it was insane to say the absolute least. It's like
so good
to start off where you take some main characters and you just start murking them left and right. And it's like, what the hell is happening? Because those movies, I want to say, were like a string of 7 to 10 years. And like, you know, they're releasing a couple of them every like 6 months or so. And so then to look at these characters that you have been bonding with for almost a decade now and just, absolutely insane. It was very sad, but it was very intense. I really Apocalypse War. Thank you, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War.
It's the Red Wedding of DC animation.
Yes, that is exactly what. Okay,
so it's only because I'm on my second cup of coffee. That's the only reason. I had the opposite of you. My dogs woke me up at 2 today, and I was like, well, I guess this is where we're starting.
So my snoring has gotten bad enough. It's getting better now that I'm starting to genuinely lose weight and whatnot. But we actually currently sleep. I'm on the couch and she's in the bedroom, or vice versa. Like we'll switch off. So the baby, the pup is in her crate in the bedroom. So typically what ends up happening is whoever's on the couch, you try very hard not to let Asia just sprint over to him. But it's like, okay, here we go. And immediately, where's my other parent? Where's my other parent? Like, and just jump on them on the couch. So, you know, thankfully, it happened in enough time for me not to be too late for the show. But I got one more question. What do you think? Do you think that they're going to include this as the DCU directly? Do you think it'll be Elseworlds? What do you think?
I feel like it's going to be Elseworlds. personally. I think it'd be a really cool get, but just from what I've seen, because I did watch the trailer this morning to be like, what was this movie like? I feel like tonally, I don't know if that is really in line with what James Gunn has established. Maybe it would be. And maybe that's also kind of the point. Oh, when we deal with the supernatural, we go over here and these kinds of things happen. But I feel like Elseworlds allows them to kind of have their own connectivity, do their own thing there, which is really lovely. And also, I mean, I'm just still a holdout. I loved Matt Ryan as Constantine. I thought he was so good.
I do too. And I love the idea. I know that it depends on the comics that you're talking about. The idea that there's actually only one Constantine and he's kind of the constant throughout. And Matt Ryan just did such a good job. I'm not saying that I don't love Keanu, and he does a good job. He just does his own version of it. I will tell you, as I was watching the movie, I was just like, I like Ryan better, but I do like this. So there is a small part of me that also is holding out hope that, like, you know, at some point he gets a chance to go at it again. But yeah, I think it makes most sense to just let this be Elseworlds because Gunn is making something completely different. So, you know. Anyways, that is that story. Let us know what y'all are thinking. If you are trying to see this Constantine 2 one way or the other, do you think it'll be a part of the main continuity or on its own? All that good stuff. If you even think it's going to make it, that's the thing, because they're still just kind of teasing around with it. We don't know yet, and we're curious what you think. So get in the comments, get in those super chats, and let us know. All right, our next story. DC has 2 more films and a series coming. This is from Dark Horizons' Garth Franklin. To date, 3 projects set in the new DC universe have been released. The Superman film, the animated Creature Commando series, and the 2nd season of Peacemaker, which wraps next week. In 26, we're getting the Supergirl and Clayface films and the Lantern series. In 27, we're getting a Man of Tomorrow film. Beyond that, nothing is a lock. Speaking with GQ Magazine today, DC Studios co-chief James Gunn was asked for any additional updates about the DCU slate beyond titles that have already been announced. The results were indications of 3 more projects coming. Right now, there are actually 2 really cool film scripts that I'm hoping to take to the next level that we have general plans for, and I'm excited about both of those. And then I'm excited about one TV project in particular. I don't know why we're not green lighting on that already. It's just figuring out the budget. So there are a couple of things that are very present that I'm excited about. Dealing with getting Supergirl into shape, all these other things. Watching episodes of Lanterns, that's coming along well. So it's really just dealing a little bit with everything, and then mostly Man of Tomorrow. That's the biggest thing for me. I mean, we go into production in April, so it may seem like far away to you, but to me, it seems awfully close. In terms of the previously announced titles, it seems as though the Authority film is basically stalled. Swamp Thing doesn't appear to have made much progress. The Batman film, The Brave and the Bold, is still early in development, with Gunn indicating the other day there's no script yet. A Wonder Woman film, however, does seem close to be moving forward. As for where things stand with the shows Booster Gold, Waller, and Paradise Lost, it's not quite clear at this point. All right, Chris. So, yeah, the Authority and Swamp Thing and Brave and the Bold don't seem to be what's coming right now.
Yeah.
Those last, the Wonder Woman has been kind of talked about. We were talking about casting her, and James Gunn said that Wonder Woman's important. What are you thinking? What do you think the mystery kind of 2 projects and TV project could potentially be that is kind of waiting on the horizon here?
Man, it's hard to say because some of the stuff that was announced is just like, well, what do you do instead of those things? Or at least some of the things that were teased.
Right.
Because Paradise Lost sounds so interesting and so cool. Really interesting. Yeah. I really enjoyed the idea of that. I love the idea of a Booster Gold show. And I feel like Booster Gold is very much in line with James Gunn's style.
Yeah.
You know? And so it feels like those are the natural next kind of moves. Same with a Waller show. A Waller show would be really fascinating, especially with the talent behind that. I mean, gosh, come on.
I thought we were going to get some bit of Waller in this. I obviously, like, especially because I guess what I was trying to figure out is the timeline of like Peacemaker and Creature Commandos, because Waller was still in charge in Creature Commandos. If I remember correctly, like she didn't get pulled off the job in that, did she? Did I forget the ending? Because obviously the end of Peacemaker, you had ads, ratting out her aunt or her mother. It's her mother, right? Or is it
Her
mother
mother,
or her
yeah.
mom? Yeah,
It's her mom.
ratting out her mom. But even with that, that's the part of the timelines that doesn't quite make sense to me is what happened to Waller and when. Just because
Yeah.
Creature Commando seemed to be like an immediate lead up to Superman, supposedly, but I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering where she is. What's going on with her? She's in the
Yeah,
wind. I would
yeah,
like to know more
yeah,
about that. No, and
exactly.
and from there, I mean, I'm guessing honestly for me, for DC, and I know it's so basic, but I need my Batman and I need my Wonder Woman. Those are the next steps for me. And
Mhm,
so to me, that's the big priority is focusing on how do you get those guys in there. If it
mhm,
is with some kind of lead in to establish our version of Gotham, not the Matt Reeves one, but the DCU Gotham, and having something like that with just Arkham Asylum. I know a while ago, and this was connected to Matt Reeves, there was talk of doing an anthology style series
mhm.
with, the Arkham Asylum folks, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit maybe here. But I just don't know what your next steps are to introduce those characters aside from give me movies with those characters.
Yeah, I mean, I think the TV project that stands out in my mind is the dynamic duo one that's supposed to be Nightwing and Red Hood.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I think maybe that's the TV project, especially because they were talking about it happening over like different mediums. So like at one point they're puppets, at one point they're like animated, at one point they're live action. Like that kind of pops into my head just knowing how Gunn loves to just play with stuff. I
Yeah,
could see him being like, yeah, that one's got me hype. Um,
sure.
but the movies, I think Wonder Woman is a big one. I think that's probably one of them. And I think, let's see, if I had to guess, I think it's too soon to go back to the Flash. I want to guess maybe it's Martian Manhunter. Um,
um,
I think if you're still trying to build out your Justice League, you're obviously not diving into that right away. But you've
yeah,
already been introduced to a Green Lantern. You're about to get two more. You already have Hawk Girl, and we've speculated that this is closer to the Justice League / Justice League Unlimited animated series back in the day, and that's the team
yeah.
you're going with. So obviously you need Wonder Woman and Batman. So then that leaves Flash, Martian Manhunter. Um, I think that's everybody. Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman,
That's
Green
our kind
Lantern,
of main
Hawk
group.
Girl, Flash, and yeah. So I would assume you're trying to get to the main if you're
Yeah,
trying to, eventually do that. So that would be my guess potentially is maybe a Martian Manhunter show, or maybe that's the TV show.
yeah.
Is Martian Manhunter if not a movie? You know what I
We've
mean?
had people also talk about doing Inner Gang and maybe focusing on
Yes.
that as a TV show and giving us a little bit of information there. But I really like the idea of Martian Manhunter, especially after last week when we started talking about Sterling K. Brown as Martian Manhunter. I was like, that's all I
Bro,
want now.
that would
That's
that would be
all I want.
fantastic. Now I'm a little biased. My best friend from college, and essentially like his dad is my play uncle. My best friend from college, his dad is Carl Lumley, who voiced Martian Manhunter for all those years.
Yeah.
Actually played John Jones's dad in like the Arrowverse, and then most of you would know him from either Alias or as Isaiah Bradley in the MCU and things like that. So there's a part of me that's like, I mean, I want it to be Carl, but I'm also aware that my boy Carl is getting up there. So I can also see them be like, we don't want to sign poor Carl up for the next decade trying to do this shit. Like, even if you are like out here like shape shifting, bro, we'll leave you be.
Yeah.
But I'd love the idea of Sterling K. Brown playing Martian Manhunter, playing John Jones. I think that would be fantastic.
So good.
So we'll see. Well, let us know what you're thinking, y'all. Do you think that it is a Martian Manhunter movie or show or a Wonder Woman show, or what show and or films do you think James Gunn is kind of tipping his hat to that is going forward? We would love to know what you think. And with that, let's go on to our next story. Keep sending in those super chats. Thank you for the love. I'm seeing it starting to pour in. So the Punisher actor Ben Barnes throws his cowl in the ring to play the DCU's Batman. This is Mark Cassidy from Comic Book Movie. Though the status of the Brave and the Bold movie remains a little cloudy, James Gunn insists that it's still moving forward, but we probably won't see it anytime soon. DC Studios is still planning to introduce a new take on Batman at some point. Gunn has previously admitted that he's having a bit of trouble cracking the project from a tonal standpoint, specifically as it relates to debuting a new version of the Dark Knight in the same universe that was established in Superman, But the filmmaker certainly isn't short on options when it comes to casting the comic DC Comics vigilante. Yeah, I mean, the actor who wants to listen, first of all, I can't tell you the amount of big actors that have told me they want to be Batman. I think you'd have a harder time finding actors who don't want to be Batman. He's the one character everyone wants to play. That's the truth, Gunn said when asked if he had any Batman casting updates during a recent interview with IGN. Reacher star Alan Ritchson recently revealed that he had spoken to someone at DC about potentially suiting up as a Cape Crusader. It doesn't sound like anything came of it. An up-and-comer Brandon Sklenar remains a fan favorite pick for the role. Now, an actor with previous comic book adaptation experience, I'll bet playing a very different type of character, has thrown his hat in the ring to play Batman. Ben Barnes, who played Billy Russo, a.k.a. Jigsaw, in both seasons of Netflix's The Punisher series alongside John Bernthal, told Collider that he would jump at the chance to play Bruce Wayne during a panel at FanX Salt Lake Comic Convention. I was actually watching some. My parents just visited me, and they bought some like little kid videos, and we were watching some old family videos, and in every single one I was dressed like Batman or Robin Hood. I think there may have been a Spider-Man one, but it was mainly Batman. So obviously I was from age 4 and up. I obviously requested that. Hey, I accept. Just call me. I've got Bruce Wayne ready to go, he added. Join the queue, Ben. Barnes does have the right look and height to play Batman, but at 44, he may be a little old for the part. And again, Gunn & Co. might well decide to cast a more grizzled, world-weary take of Bats. What do you think? Could you see Barnes as Batman? Chris, that's a great question.
He's 44?
He's 44. He looks really
has
good.
Has anyone told his face?
Let's bring this photo back. That's a really good-looking 44-year-old. Oops.
This man is an incredible actor, and I don't want to diminish that by also talking about how gosh dang handsome he is.
But Bruce is supposed to be the most eligible bachelor in the world. That's supposed to be the thing.
Okay, Ben Barnes, like Prince Caspian is how I first saw him, but he was also in Shadow and Bone, which unjustly got canceled by Netflix, and he's the Darkling in it. He's the bad guy. And if there was ever an argument for, I could fix him, it's that man. It's you watch that show and you're like, no, I get it. And it's fine that he wants to plunge the world to darkness, and I could fix him, and it's okay.
That's genuinely hilarious. That is.
I watched it with my husband. Hilarious. He was just like, you know what, fair, and I get it.
Look, man, we all
a great one. Oh,
sorry.
I
genuinely no. I think he genuinely would be good. I was gonna say we all have that one where you're like, no, this is terrible for me, but yeah. Like I think my one where I like looked at her and I was like, I need to be nowhere near this person. I'm sure she's great as a person, but at times the things that she says in like interviews or does, I'm like, no, that she shouldn't be on my list, but she's on my list. Doja Cat gets into too much trouble, man. Like not like actual trouble, but then she'd be like saying stuff and I'm like,
she stirs the pot.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, but maybe I should anyway, if the opportunity like presents itself. Like not someone saying I could fix Katy Perry, sir.
King's Portal cowl. No, you can't.
Oh my goodness. But no, I think let me bring him back up. Yeah, I mean, I don't think
he's locked in for Bruce Wayne. Like that's a Bruce Wayne right there.
I would see him more as a Thomas Elliott, to be honest with you.
Oh, I can see that.
I see him more as a Hush, and there's for whatever reason, you give me the pompous attitude plenty just in that photo, and I'm not like I do remember him from Punisher, but I don't really know his work outside of that. I'm sorry, I'm trying to focus, but I just saw Kingsport Cal saying, I just need 5 minutes.
Listen, man. Good on you.
Good on you, bro. Good on you, bro.
Couldn't be me.
But I just think I don't know. I just think that for whatever reason, he's just not giving me the Bruce and Batman vibes. But the Thomas Elliott, I can see him just being so angry and so rich and privileged and wanting to rip Bruce to shreds. And because that was the thing with, if I remember with Thomas Elliott's story, they both grew up rich together, but then Thomas's parents died. Thomas became a surgeon to be like Thomas Wayne. To like, because at one point I guess he like kind of saved his life, but didn't he also like lose his fortune or whatever? So he's kind of taking revenge out on Bruce.
Yeah, he feels that he should have the life that Bruce has.
Right.
He feels incredibly entitled to everything that Bruce has, because why shouldn't he? And that's a lot of the characters that Ben Barnes has played, is a very privileged individual. The character on Punisher has a lot of hushed tones to it. The character on Shadow and Bone is an incredibly privileged character who is an ageless being who is like, I'm right. I'm right and justified, so everyone should be listening to me.
Yeah.
And so I can see tones of that, though, coming into Batman, because Batman has this too. That's why he has his contingency plans of, I know what's best for the world sometimes. And it's not the right thing to do. It's not what Superman's going to want to do, but I know it's good for the greater good. And that's what we're going to do here. So I think having somebody who can play that morally gray area works for Batman.
Yeah.
As he is right now, I do think Bruce works for him because of all the eligible bachelor stuff around him. For Batman, I haven't seen him do too much combat. There's some fighting in Shadow and Bone, and obviously there's some fighting in Punisher. But obviously, just like any of these characters we've talked about, and what they all do every time somebody gets cast in DC or Marvel. We saw J.K. Simmons get swole. That's all we need to have happen here for any of these people. Is Bruce Wayne is also the pinnacle of the human body. Like, he has pushed himself to the limit.
I think I figured it out, bro. He could be the new Constantine. He kind of gives me a little bit more towards the Matt Ryan of things.
He would be great.
I don't know if it's just because he's wearing a trench coat. It's obviously the wrong color, but for some reason, I just kept looking at him. I was like, no. He feels like you said, there's this idea that I know better than the rest of you. And that's the funny thing about Constantine, is that even though he is a complete and utter mess, he does know better and know more than pretty much everybody in the universe. He's just a raging alcoholic with sex addict with like so many issues rolling in his head,
running away from death and lung cancer, making deals with the literal devil.
Han Solo, if he made a deal with the devil and had magic instead of a blaster, that's pretty much the idea here. So for whatever reason, that just immediately clicked into my brain, and
that
I
would
feel
work.
like he would crush that.
Because there does have to be that charm to Constantine, too. That's the other factor, is because he's so smug, because he's so arrogant, there still has to be that Liverpoolian wink and a nod where you'd like, I'd still go home with him.
I'd still fix him. Jesus Christ, Chris. Jesus Christ.
I have a problem.
Well, let us know what you think. Do you think Ben Barnes would be a good Batman? Or do you think that maybe there's another character in the DCU that he would potentially fit? Keep sending in those super chats. Keep diving in the comments and letting us know, as we got one more story to cover before we jump over to those super chats. And again, we're trying to get to 161 today. We're sitting at about 18, so we got a decent amount of way to go. But remember, if you're worried about upsetting Kristian for his birthday, this is all going to Kristian. So you're actually helping Kristian out. So there you go. You're just giving him extended birthday presents. All righty. The next story, this last one. Boop. There's a rumor that F1 star Tobias Menzies is eyed to play a surprising character from Gotham's past in the Batman Part 2. This is Josh Wilding reporting. The Batman Part 2 begins shooting next April, and that means we should start getting casting news any day now. Well, while we'd recommend taking this report with a pinch of salt, Pop Film claims to have learned an early addition to Matt Reeves' long-awaited sequel. The Crown star Tobias Menzies is reportedly being eyed to play Amadeus Arkham, a key figure from Gotham City's past. The site also believes that Luke Roberts and Stella Stoker will reprise their roles as Thomas and Martha Wayne. They've appeared in the first movie in photographs and news reports. In the comics, Amadeus Arkham was a prominent member of the Arkham family and the founder of Arkham Asylum. Having created the hospital after the murder of his family, he initially had good intentions and set out to cure its inmates and treat their mental health. However, Amadeus gradually lost his sanity and was eventually imprisoned within his own creation. Despite being long dead by the time Batman arrived on the scene, Amadeus has affected the Dark Knight's operations indirectly through either his family or the asylum, which is obviously used to hold many of Batman's greatest enemies. In the world of the Batman, we know that the Joker and the Riddler are among those being held there. The Penguin, meanwhile, confirmed that Sophia Falcone now resides within the asylum after she was outsmarted by Gotham's new kingpin, Oz Cobb. Menzies is a prolific actor who counts Game of Thrones, Outlander, The Night Manager, Casino Royale, and F1 among his credits. It's worth noting that the same site claimed in June that Peacemaker Season 2 would feature appearances from Joel Kinnaman's Rick Flag Jr. and Kumail Nanjiani's Booster Gold. They got the former right. We'll see how their track record holds up after the finale next week. I completely forgot about that, and we did see Kumail at the premiere, so that's a good thing. I forgot. In a recent interview, Penguin actor Colin Farrell said, "I've got an even smaller role in this one, but I'm okay with that. I've read the script from start to finish, and I can't say much about it. But it's deeper, scarier. The stakes are bigger. I'm really excited to see it." What does Amadeus Arkham's potential appearance in the Batman Part 2 mean for this movie? Well, if we're taking a deep dive into Gotham City's past, it seems to imply that we could indeed see the Court of Owls target Bruce Wayne in this follow-up. It's not a wild guess either, as Amadeus did cross paths with them on the page. Batman Part 2 is set to be out October 1st of 27. All right, Chris, so Amadeus Arkham, do you think that's a good fit for Tobias? Do you think there's something else there? Where are your thoughts kind of going when you hear that?
Tobias Menzies is an actor who any role is a good fit for him. He's incredible. He's so terrifying in Outlander, mostly because
I've never seen it.
I binged part of it and I was not prepared for what happens. It is a particularly violent show in which there's a lot of assault, and we see a lot of, I don't want us to get demonetized, we see a lot of grape. And
okay. I always go with SA if you need to just quickly.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I was not prepared for it, and he plays two different characters, and so you see like this one kind, benevolent husband, and then you see this horrible other character, and it just one shows his range, but also he's one of those actors who it disappears into a role that you do have this kind of knee-jerk reaction to seeing him stuff. You're like, oh my gosh, he was that terrible person in this, but then he plays this other part, and you go, oh gosh, he's so talented. Oh gosh, he's so good. And the nice thing here with the Arkham Asylum role, the Amadeus role, is we get to see that descent into madness, how this is I'm trying to do what's best. I'm trying to right the wrongs of what happened to my family. But then how do you succumb to that darkness, which is such a big theme in Batman, him constantly trying to not give in to those dark desires of, my life would be a lot easier if I just started using guns, or if I just started, actually taking out these villains, as opposed to trying to rehabilitate them. Yeah. Bruce is always fighting that, or Batman's always fighting that. Bruce is the persona, right?
Right.
This is interesting.
No, for sure. Because the funny thing is, you mentioned that, and I don't remember who we had originally cast. Like, I feel like a week or two ago, we had decided on who would be a good Hugo Strange, Doctor Strange. Which is also, how have I never noticed that? I'd normally just say Doctor Strange so much, and I immediately mean Stephen Strange. Yep. But literally Hugo Strange is Dr. Hugo Strange. I don't know how my brain never crossed those wires ever.
This is exactly why my podcast co-host Amy Newman is constantly infuriated. She's like, well, that's not fair. How am I supposed to know?
I mean, shoot, even the fact that like the fight over the name, the moniker of Captain Marvel, that was like of back and forth for forever until they finally were just like, fine, we will rename the hero Shazam. I hate you guys. Like they love to steal from each other a lot, whether it be character archetypes or actual names.
Absolutely.
I am curious now. Someone goes, which Doctor Strange was first? Let's see. When was Hugo Strange created?
Both, I believe, are from the 1960s.
1940.
Oh, shoot.
Hugo Strange. When was Doctor Strange created? 63. So technically, DC has the edge here with Dr. Hugo Strange, but that was the whole
right,
thing.
because he first appeared in the Detective Comics early on. That makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Okay.
But to that point, even though he is technically Dr. Hugo Strange, he has always gone more or less as Hugo Strange. It's very rare that you directly just call him Doctor Strange. It's not.
Yeah.
And I bet you legally now there's probably something in there where, like, if they say Doctor Strange, they have to say Dr. Hugo Strange, unless it's within the context specifically of like the movie or the game or the comic that you're in. You're like, seriously, Doctor Strange, what do you think's wrong with me? Like, that would be about it. But you can't would be like, I'm gonna go to Doctor Strange. I'm like, oh, Dr. Hugo Strange. Ah, yeah, he's definitely like, so
they're just really formal with him always.
Always.
Yeah.
Full name.
Yeah.
Full name, no stops. So like a pimp named Slickback. You got to say the whole thing, like Tribe Called Quest. Like, just
exactly like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tobias Menzies would be dope. I think adding him at all would be dope. I think, again, Amadeus Arkham would be cool. But I do think he could also play a very good Hugo Strange is my pick.
Yeah.
So
there's definitely in the present characters he could play so that he could go toe to toe with some of our heroes.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. I completely agree. But the other thing about Amadeus Arkham, if I remember correctly, that is also then kind of tied to the Court of Owls as well, and which is why I think they teased that photo of the Court of Owls and a Talon there. Is he inadvertently kind of helped create the secret society of the rich elite and all that kind of stuff, which we kind of were already teased to, if we're being real, in the Batman. We just didn't dive fully in. Oh Lord, there's a bot. Let me get his ass out of here. Get your ass out of here, bot. There we go. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. But yeah, I hope he's in the movie. I think he'd be good. Who was he in F1 again? I'm trying to remember.
That I couldn't tell you anything. Like what?
I wonder. I feel like he was the guy that was trying to sell the team, right?
I think you're correct. Let's double check here.
The Peter Banning. Yep. Princess Positive said it exactly. He was the one trying to sell the team. That is actually
his name
correct.
was Peter Banning.
Yeah.
Like in Hook, like in Peter Pan.
Oh, I didn't even put that together. That's hilarious. I guess so.
Oh, okay.
Go figure. It is what it is. Anyways, let us know what you think, y'all. Do you want to see Tobias Menzies in the Batman Part 2? Do you think he would fit as Amadeus Arkham? Do you think he would fit as Dr. Hugo Strange? Emphasis on the Hugo. Or you have another character in mind. Let us know what you're thinking. All right, that is all of the stories that we have right now. So we're going to get to your super chats. Please keep sending them in with your ideas, things like that. If there are movies that you're still curious about me and Chris are seeing, we're always expanding that list. But before we get to those super chats, Chris, let the people know what you got going on in your world, girl.
Yeah, we've got some new podcast episodes up over on Two Filthy Casuals. So wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, wherever, or on YouTube, Two Filthy Casuals Pod. We also have a Patreon where we put out 2 bonus episodes every month, and those are unedited and unfiltered. So if you miss the sound of me swearing, head on over to Two Filthy Casuals where I do it so much. And then on top of that, I've always got my voiceover classes going on, you guys. If you're looking for a voiceover coach, hit me up, speakfriendstudio.com. My husband teaches dialect classes. I teach voiceover, and I think I'm pretty good at it. You can hear me in a 1-800-Flowers ad right now. You can hear me in an Aspercream ad. You can hear me in a Clear Choice Dental ad. So if you want to learn about that stuff, hit me up.
Why did you say 1-800-Flowers? And I immediately was like, 1-800-Contacts. Like, I was like, that's not even remotely what she said. And yet somehow.
If someone says a number starts out with like 88, I'm like 888-528-3200.
Empire today.
Yeah.
That'd be. Go ahead. Go. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I could know so much math. And instead,
the one that sticks out with me that I will never forget is, and this is only for the people that are in Dallas, but it's call 287-8433 because the next best thing to do is Dalworth clean ding. Just
That's a good one. That's catchy.
It was a catchy little jingle. It was for Dalworth, as in Dallas Fort Worth, like carpet cleaning company. They had this little dude that would like pop up when he would clean it and he'd be smiling right in the camera and shit. I'll never forget that. But instead of plugging companies that have nothing to do with this, let me plug my shit. If you have, oh God, okay, that's two. You can find me at youtube.com/swaggyblurred. I just crossed 5,000. I was very excited about that, man. And we're gonna keep it pushing. We're now pushing to 10K. So please get in there. Help me out. Go subscribe. Stuff I got on there. Blurred Breakdown on Mondays. I've got my out of the theater reactions and reviews of all sorts of various stuff. My Peacemaker, this most recent episode is out. My out of the theater reaction for The Smashing Machine. My out of the theater reaction for One Battle After Another last week. Got some other reactions and reviews coming. I also think that the Demon Slayer stuff that I've been doing with Kristian, we're going to be able to start doing there's like a collab feature now on there. So watching the Demon Slayer reactions is not just helpful for Kristian's channel and everything that we're doing over here. It would be helpful for mine as well. So definitely check those out. And we've got another 4 episodes for you coming this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Tuesdays with John Roca doing Spill the Tequila on the John Roca channel. Wednesdays, Blurreds in the Hood, myself and Mr. J. Washington. We are back, youtube.com/Blurreds in the Hood. And then obviously right back here on Fridays. The last thing that I need to do, I actually want to plug 2 other things. One, if you haven't seen it already, you have got to check out the comic shop. If you were a fan of this show, which means you're most likely a fan of comics and everything else like that, one of my good friends, Cheyenne, made this incredible web series called The Comic Shop. It's a new workplace comedy that takes place in an independently owned comic book shop. It is amazing. Your boy may or may not be in an early on episode. Another very famous schmo may or may not be in an episode. You should probably go and check it out. You might genuinely find yourself shocked and surprised at how good the show is. So check out the Comic Shop series. It's on, if you search that here on YouTube, it should be under Awkward Virgo Productions is the name of the channel, but the show is absolutely fantastic. And then the last thing that I was going to plug, my brain just crapped out on me. It happens. It'll come to me. I'm sure I'll say it at the end of the show, but those are the main things I wanted to plug right now. So, Chris, remember,
Winnie, remember.
There was a really interesting meme that was going around about ADHD where essentially what it is just like an ADHD brain is essentially just a computer that's completely locked by verbal passwords. So if like the minute you say the password, it just unlocks and then you have access to whatever the knowledge is. All I need at this point is I need to write like down what little things trigger me, and then hopefully that will help me to like bring stuff back one way or the other.
Your brain is just Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Or Demon Slayer, because we're at the point now where they got the little drums. Someone just keeps hitting the drum and I'm in another room and I'm like, God, how did I get here? How? So
I understand this. Logan's ADHD, and so we have like acrylic whiteboards everywhere in our house, just with notes everywhere. Like, what are we doing? What is my schedule? What food is in this home?
Bro, if it wasn't for last night when I left the Smashing Machine, I was like on my way home, and I was like, maybe I should stop and pick something up. And I was like, bro, you don't take your ass home and get that fish that you set to defrost at 8 this morning because you were gonna have it for lunch and you completely forgot. Take your ass home and you eat fish and broccoli. I was like, oh, okay. Like, yep. I black parented myself and said, I was like, yo, can I have McDonald's? And it was like, you got McDonald's money? Take your ass home. We got food at home.
Yeah.
Like, I literally did that to myself. So.
Oh, I have to all the time. There's rice at home. Have to do it. That's what's at home.
All right, Chris. Well, 161 is the goal. You want to take a wild guess where we're at so far?
25?
Wow, you nailed it spot on. We are at 25 currently. I feel like you cheated and just looked at the number off to the side.
I did.
Well, let's jump into it, man. Let's get to these super chats. Keep sending them in. Your thoughts, ideas, all that kind of stuff. We want to hear it, man. We'll start off with the Joe D at coming in saying, hey, Capes crew. I got tickets to see the Marvel Studios Infinity Saga concert at Carnegie Hall tomorrow night. Wow. Ooh. Before the show, we planned to hit the Carnegie Deli, just like Bowser from Shanana and Arthur Fonzarelli. Ooh, good for you.
Okay, nice. That's gonna be so fun.
That sounds fun as hell, honestly. And it's funny because I remember liking the idea of this kind of stuff, but not always being super into it because I'm like, just the soundtrack, even if it's played live, I don't know. But it's amazing, genuinely, how music can just get into your soul, and all of a sudden you're back watching the movie. You can see the movie in your head and things like that,
Oh, absolutely. And the music too for the Infinity Saga is so
It's so
powerful.
good.
It's so good. Shameless plug again to Filthy Casuals. We do a podcast about it with Raul Sabeo, who's an incredible voice actor, just breaking down all of the soundtracks and the scoring of those movies.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I would need to. Clearly, I need to watch your show. I'm screwing up.
That's okay. You need to just come on the show.
Let me know. Let me know when.
I'm selfish.
Let me get some sleep first, because that's clearly a problem. And then by all means, I'm totally down.
Heck yeah.
Hey, Mr. CJ, coming in. Thank you so much. Happy Friday, Capes and Cows Mark II. Hashtag I wish I knew. First of all, did you mean to rhyme? Because if you did, well done. But thank you, Mr. CJ. Appreciate you, Pippin.
I wish I knew.
I forgot Luke is creeping in the background here. That was good timing, because normally my brain again would have done that. Missed that today. Mike Cat, favorite moment from Transformers the movie? That was the first reaction you did, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Honestly, anything with Grimlock. Freaking love that guy. I love that little dino bot. The really weird stuff with Eric Idle's character was super fun too, with just kind of their way of speaking was all just uploaded television and commercials. That was really, really delightful too. Honestly, that whole movie just blew me away. I was so shocked that they, much like the DC movie we're talking about, the Justice League movie, they just kill so many characters in the beginning that I was floored. I was fully Rizzo the Rat in Muppet Christmas Carol. I was like, this is supposed to be a kid's movie. What is happening? Muppet Treasure Island, excuse me. That's the one.
Fair. No, I'm just glad you enjoyed it. That's the highlight,
It was fun.
Yeah. Gregory Dopp, support for obscene words and Winston and Chris piece. Appreciate you. Definitely appreciate that. Also appreciate Alan Smithy saying support for Winston and Chris. We need more super chats. Listen to Alan Smithy. He is correct.
So wise.
Mr. CJ coming back with the I wish I knew as well. Appreciate that. Seattle KO. What are some non-Marvel / DC comics that you would have loved to see adapted into a movie or animated series? Okay, non-Marvel or DC comics that you would love to see adapted into a movie or animated series. I'm trying to think. I've got one. Oh, go for it. What do you got?
So, and supposedly this has been in production, for ages, but I really would like Chew. It's a messed up comic in which our Detective Chew, has a power in which whatever he eats, he can experience the memories of that thing.
Oh, so wow.
It makes him as a homicide investigator a little creepy.
No. Oh, wow.
Great comic. Great comic. It was back in the day. We had Robin Williams attached to be one of the voices in it. Supposedly, David Tennant was going to step in and do a voice in that, but I think that could be particularly cool. Fable.
Oh, yeah, that would be good.
Saga. Would be good. Saga would be good.
I would love to see there is in the comics, there is a Power Rangers spinoff where Tommy actually doesn't truly become good. He kind of keeps some of that evil shit and he becomes King Draken. So he ends up having both the Green Ranger and the White Ranger powers, which he's kind of corrupted, and essentially takes over what Rita and Zed were doing, like kind of punts them out, and is just this evil warlord where like some of the Rangers are killed and they're trying to fight back. And then he's like trying to take over other worlds with other Rangers and stuff like that. He turns the Power Rangers almost into like a full on army. So you start making stormtroopers out of like the Black Power Ranger and stuff like that. Like it is dark. And I would love to see like Draken, turn into like a full on thing, rest in peace, obviously, to James David Frank. But Jason David Frank, excuse me. But I think that storyline would be awesome. I would love to see that. So,
that sounds rad.
Yeah. Scott Fisher. Hey guys, the article about Constantine called him Scouse. Refers to his Liverpool origins. I prefer Matt Ryan to Keanu as the mage. I agree, and thank you for helping correct my inability to pronounce a damn thing. Oh man, let's see. Luigi Cherry, y'all doing a great job as usual, and would love to see Matt Smith as Constantine. Oh yeah.
Oh, Matt Smith is a fun pick.
Maybe you just have to be named Matt.
That's the secret.
That's the secret. You just have to be
like
named
all the
Matt.
Chris's in the Marvel universe. You just got to be a Matt, and you could be considered.
No, that's completely it. Man, I keep forgetting he's actually been in a lot. I completely forgot he was a doctor. Because like in my mind, I just remember him from House of the Dragon and that ridiculous dance in Morbius. But I completely forgot that like the doctor was like his first major role, right?
Yeah. Before that, he had done a lot of stage work. He'd been in a couple other British television programs. I first saw him in something called Party Animals, where he was like a young political analyst. Very, very just kind of eager and naive. And it was a very different role than the doctor.
Okay.
But yeah, he's great. He'd be wonderful.
He really, really is. Dylan Neal, one of the members, thank you so much, Dylan, says, hey, Winston and Chris. Any thoughts on the Frankenstein trailer? And what is your favorite Guillermo del Toro movie? Mine is Hellboy 1. Much love. What do you think? Because I don't know if I've actually seen it.
Ooh, it's real cool looking. It's really interesting right now, too, to have that trailer and the Bride trailer.
That's
happening.
What I've seen. So for a minute, I was like, does he mean the Bride? And I was like, no. I know there's something else. So yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, they've just released that other one. And I think it's a much more traditional take on Frankenstein and looks amazing. Looks really, really cool. While The Bride also looks incredible. Favorite Guillermo del Toro movie. I love Hellboy. I think that'd probably be mine too. Or Pan's Labyrinth. What about you, Winston?
That's a good question because now I feel like I need to pull his filmography real quick.
I'm a sucker for Pacific Rim too.
I was gonna say,
movie.
I think probably Pacific Rim. I'm realizing though, like looking at his stuff, I don't think I've actually seen a lot of Guillermo del Toro movies. I think it might just be Pacific Rim. I never saw The Shape of Water. I never saw.
Film.
Yeah, I definitely think Get Out should have won over it, but I haven't seen it, so I guess I have to shut up. I realized that I hadn't seen either Hellboys. He directed Blade 2?
Yep.
Then I guess Blade 2 is my favorite movie of his.
He also did Nightmare Alley, which a lot of people liked. It was a awards season movie. Didn't do it for me. I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah.
But he's a very varied storyteller.
Yeah. The only movies of his I've seen, I take that back. I've seen the first Hellboy, but I remember being really young. It didn't stick to my ribs the way it did to a lot of other people. I think it's Blade 2 and then Pacific Rim for me.
The chat just reminded me too. He has an excellent Pinocchio film that you can watch on Netflix. Oof. It
just dropped like a year or two ago, right? Or a couple years ago?
Yeah. It's a stop motion film.
Oh, wow.
Powerful. Dark. Very good.
Okay. I'll have to check it out. Harv's K. Hey, Winston and Chris. Any interest in seeing Good Boy, the horror movie from a dog's point of view, seeing it tonight? I'm sure the dog will be fine. Yeah, I actually both do and do not at all want to see that movie.
I'm seeing it Sunday.
You ready?
No, because you guys know I'm such a wimp. I'm scared of everything. People sent me the Pennywise gif with him waving Georgie's arm, and I cried for like hours. I hate it. I'm such a baby. I hate it. But this sounds so interesting and different that it was one of those, I've got to see it just for the novelty of it and to be able to talk to y'all about it, because I need to expand my horizons more and put myself in uncomfortable situations every now and then.
I mean, I would like to see it, but the one part of me, especially now that I have a dog and we're trying to, she's pretty shy. She's getting better and better, but like she is instinctively a little shy. I don't need to be thinking in the back of my mind she's this shy because she's actually seeing a demon follow me around or whatever is behind the chaos in that movie. And I saw the trailer and it was enough to already scare me. Like a lot of times with scary movies, trailers aren't going to do that much to you. You'll still be like, ooh, but they're not going to hit you like that. And I was just like, no, this is disturbing. No. So we'll see.
I'm very concerned that I'm going to leave this movie just broken.
Want to go home and hug your dogs, but also be like, get away from me.
Yeah. Well, and like Gimli's 15. So he also already does that thing of like, he's fine, he's good. And then he just stares sometimes at stuff. And it's like, oh, hey, what? I just went somewhere for a second. And now I'm going to come home and go, oh, that's not because you're old. That's because this old house we rent is heckin' haunted.
Oh, God. That's going to be a minute. I'm going to have to really think about it. I'm going to have to wait until it's at home so I can control things. Though maybe that's worse because the dog is like just in the house seeing shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Mr. CJ, soon Kristian will get a pause it. Wait, I don't know if I get the reference.
That's from when Sam was watching Thor. And the moment where Zeus takes all his clothes off, she starts screaming, pause it.
I forgot about that. Carl comes in. I'm a huge Alias fan and love Carl. Dude, Carl is like the sweetest individual. I probably got a photo around here somewhere with Carl. I'll look it up while we keep doing the super chats. No, he's one of my favorite people in the world. He is one of the nicest people you could possibly ever meet. But yeah, no, he's the best man and a fantastic actor. Luigi Cherry, during Peacemaker, would love to think Waller as setting up Cadmus in DCU. Oh, interesting.
Yes. That's fun.
Actually a really good idea. I don't know why I didn't think about that myself. Way to go. Soul Stylist Jukebox. You two are great together. That is all. Thank you, Soul Stylist. I appreciate that.
I think so too, but I'm biased.
Yeah. You maybe don't get this reference, but Paul Giamatti for Batman.
What?
You don't get it, do you?
No.
It comes from me one time claiming that I thought Paul Giamatti should be Batman. I honestly can't remember at this point if I was full on joking, if I had a brain fart, if I was dead serious. I think I just had a brain fart because I was thinking of the Oscar run at the time about how him and what's his name that played Scarecrow and Oppenheimer and all that stuff.
Cillian Murphy.
Thank you. All at the same time that this was all happening. So
motherfucking Batman.
That became one of the memes.
Okay, I've seen that clip.
Yes, you've seen that one before. So that has purely come from me being like, yeah, Paul Giamatti for Batman. So this has just become a running joke. And every now and again, this is the really only swearing that happens on here. Is
motherfucking Batman.
Dylan Dill, thank you for helping us re-laugh. I love that. Go Pal. Did I see Elektra is coming to Born Again? That's a good question. I've heard the rumor, but I don't know if that. Did you see something to the contrary or?
No, I've heard the rumor, but I also am still wondering if are we getting the Elektra who we had in the series, or are we getting new casting? Because she was wonderful.
Right.
She was great.
No, she really was. But I am curious too if that's going to be any sort of retcon, or if like you're bringing her back from the dead. If maybe like that's how you explain it. Oh, she changed bodies, like whatever. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Here's a photo that I can. Let's see. Share. Let's see. Close that. Screen share. Bam. So this is from last year. Zoom in a little. So this is, I think y'all knew that I said I was doing Shakespeare this year. This was the show from last year. We did Midsummer Night's Dream. So there's Carl right there. And then that's my boy Brandon. That's his son, my best friend. And then that's my mama. And that's my sister and my brother-in-law. And that's Brandon's lady and auntie. So yeah, that was the two of us in the show, and the family came out. But yeah, Carl. The funny thing is, Carl's done a lot of Shakespeare in life, so he was out here just, I could see him mouthing the words as we were doing them, which was hilarious. And I was like, bro, are you kidding me right now? Like, you straight up just, that is absolutely crazy.
Oh,
right.
he Judi Denched y'all. Just sitting there knowing everything.
Apparently, that was something that Will Smith used to do when he was like, because what his first major thing really was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And some of the other cast members, because a lot of them, especially James Avery, rest in peace, coming from theater and being like a theater legend and all that, Will would just be mouthing everybody's words. And there was this level like, Will, you have to stop doing that. Like, it's good that so then if we go up on a line, you can but you cannot, because we can see you. We can see you being like, hey, Uncle Phil. And then you're out here being like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, and it's like, bro, stop it. Oh, man. Dylan Neal, actual suggestion, John David Washington is Batman. Ooh.
Oh.
I don't hate that. I think, again, he's more than got the acting chops. He's got the Oscar nom. I am just very acutely aware people are always going to throw a damn fuss about any sort of change in race or anything like that. So even though I think John David Washington, with his action skills, with his acting ability, with the look, is actually perfect for Bruce Wayne / Batman, yeah, I just have a feeling they're gonna stay away from it because they don't want to hear the nonsense that's gonna come out of people's mouths,
Yeah, I mean, we had so much backlash on casting Severus Snape or other characters,
or even teasing Idris Elba being Bond. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and the one argument that I've gone, I can understand that, is that Bruce Wayne has such inherent privilege,
which is fair.
So I can understand that point, but also at this point in time, I feel like we all are like, no, we have so many CEOs of color. We can also have this be a thing.
That's on top of both with the idea of Bruce coming from wealth, that very much could happen right now. I mean, think about literally all of the celebrities right now that have all these kids. A lot of the drama in the NFL world has been about Shador Sanders, the son of Deion Sanders, who is in the league now, but was drafted a little bit too late. A lot of people are agreeing, but
I actually know this sport thing.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. So plenty we've more than gotten to that generation now where something like that could happen. And then if someone says, well, what about, you could see the bottom part of his mask, it's clearly a black dude. Oh, okay. So you're telling me that some people couldn't be like, well, maybe some other rich philanthropist is the one out here, giving him all the money. You never know. But again, I just know how they're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
At least not right now.
It should be more concerning that people aren't going, wow, Bruce leaves his own parties a lot.
That really is the bigger thing to think about. My guy really, really doesn't ever leave the party.
He just Irish goodbyes all the time. Where is he? Every time. I think he's maybe a coward. Time things go pear-shaped, he leaves.
Which is part of why I think one of the best moments in the Dark Knight trilogy is when the Joker invades that fundraiser. And then all of a sudden, the two that were screwing in one of the back rooms, they go, oh, thank God he has a panic room. And he just completely blows by them. And they're just like, what a dick. One of the realest and most hilarious things that I could possibly see, man. So,
yeah.
People are saying Carl should be the DCU's Martian Manhunter. Again, I think so too. I would love it, but I just know that, again, Carl is getting up. He still looks fantastic. Look, he's obviously black don't crack, and then especially Jamaican, it really don't. So there's that. But I think just from the stand, and he got in crazy shape for both the Falcon and Winter Soldier and for Brave New World. But you're talking about most likely another decade. I don't think Carl's going anywhere because he's a very healthy guy. But just in the idea of do you want to play this role that long? The only other thing I could see is maybe you let him voice whenever he is in his Martian form, and then let somebody else play him as his human form or something like that. So his voice changes, so he is in disguise. That could be interesting.
I like that.
Okay, go pal. Did y'all watch Legends of Tomorrow? I never watched the standalone Constantine series, but he was a big part of the later seasons. I did watch the show.
Same.
All of the Arrowverse for the most part. I didn't finish the last 2 seasons of The Flash, but I saw everything else from start to finish.
I missed towards the end of Legends of Tomorrow. Basically, I was watching everything up until the Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then towards the end of that is when I was like, kind of like catch what I catch.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, I guess Luke went and found it. He made it. So it's like, wait, but Sam, why do you want to pause it? I wish I knew. You don't know? You have no idea. Oh no, did we get rid of Batman? Oh, dude, you got rid of Batman to do that? You can't get rid of Batman. What are you doing? Oh, it's
I'm motherfucking Batman!
And you know this, man?
Well done.
Well done.
That was great.
Full clip show. I love it. Gopal comes back and says, I like John David Washington, but the best part would be watching the worst people fully decompensate when the casting is announced. I doubt Gunn wants the fervor. Exactly. That's my thought process. I genuinely, it would make me laugh to watch that, but I just know that exactly that. I don't think anybody wants to deal with that headache. I think maybe an alternate world Bruce / Batman for sure, but you would have to put together one of the craziest auditions you've ever seen to just be like, we are more than willing to overcome the bullshit that will come from doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Gopal, does Outlander pick up after season 2? The French bit bored me so much I stopped keeping up.
Well, Gopal, I stopped watching because I went, this show's very intense and this is not for me right now. Because I started watching it during the pandemic. And it was, this is not the content that I want to be consuming right now while I'm trapped in my house with no one to talk to. Because my husband was a essential worker. And it was just, me alone for 12 hours being like, I don't think I should watch this and be alone with my thoughts. It's already bad up in this movie theater. I don't need help.
Not bad up in this movie theater. You're killing me, bro. Oh, dude, you got these one-liners, these little zingers that get me every single time. Gopal again. Also, Marvel has Carol Danvers and DC has Kara Danvers. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Right. They really just ripping each other off left and right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Luke says, the only way it would fly that people would be fine with a Black Batman is if Nolan came back and pitched a Black Batman set after The Dark Knight Rises. So then maybe it's not Bruce directly, but somebody else taking up the mantle. So, like in comics, we do have Lucius Fox, and I believe it's Lucius's son that plays like Bat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I could see that if maybe you don't go full Batwing, but he just takes the mantle up. Because his dad was like, yeah, man, we need somebody out here. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Mike Cat, who you want to see cast in new X-Men moving forward? Damson Idris. I don't know who but I want him to be a mutant. I think he'd be awesome. Maybe
that's
a
great
Bishop.
pick.
Maybe a Bishop would be dope. Darwin again, because you did my boy dirty. I mean, now he's great as Mr. Terrific. But maybe Damson Idris as either Bishop or Darwin, and let Darwin be exactly what he is. Someone that's not going to die because his powers will go, what? World Breaker Hulk? Whoop, teleport to the other side of the planet. Like, just nope. His whole powers are just that. Come on in, Bubba. Oh, she's never mind. The door's just open because my lady is leaving for the day, so they just wanted to make sure if the dog needed me, she could get in here.
Okay.
What about you?
I got way too excited. I was like, oh, puppy.
I mean, keep an eye on the bed. Nope, that's just my cord. I thought that was her walking in. If she does, she'll lay right there. So, what do you think? Who would you want to see cast?
Honestly, I really don't care who's in this cast as long as they're good actors. I kind of like the idea of giving us a lot of unknowns because the IP is so profoundly known by most people. I love the idea. I'm more interested in can we have live action Morlocks? Can we have a live action Marrow? Can we bring in some of those characters? And then I really want to go back to what, Sarah Finn did so beautifully of just casting actors who had wonderful backgrounds, who had, theater training or had these wonderful recurring roles on procedural shows, and then just kind of launched them. That's really what I'd like.
Okay. I love that. Someone asked what white actor would I want to see cast. Jack O'Connell, put him in everything. Put him in everything. Who I'd want him to play. I could see him as the new Cyclops, to be honest with you. I think he's
like
kind of got that GQ element to it, and I think you could make him be a little bit more more of a Boy Scout, because he did give off that kind of charm the way that he did, but we've obviously seen the dark side of him too. So when Cyclops does go off the rails, I think that would work. I have always said Taron Egerton, I think, should be Wolverine. Give me somebody that's the appropriate height and gives me the appropriate badass. Hi, Asia.
Hello, puppy. I like Taron for it.
Yeah.
I like I still want Daniel Radcliffe. I think that's a really great one.
Wolverine?
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. He'd work. He got super buff in the last few years. He's an excellent actor. He plays that kind of like feral thing really well, like in Guns Akimbo. Oof, so good. If Scott Summers isn't a teenager, I think like Steven Yeun could be a really cool get for Cyclops as like an adult leader.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That'd also be kind of interesting too.
Yeah, but I want like the plucky teens to be new people.
Yeah. Okay. If for some random reason I just disappear, she knows not to sit under my desk because she has before come this close to accidentally hitting the surge protector and cutting everything off. I'm gonna pray she doesn't do that because I can't quite move right now. But okay, great. Oh, lovely. Okay, don't you want to lay in your bed? Okay, you're just gonna lay directly behind my chair, so I don't get to move the rest of the day, because otherwise I will roll over her with my chair. Awesome. She's just very cute, and she always wants to be wherever her people are. So that's like she's a little mermaid.
I love it.
Free pancakes. Doomsday needs. There was an idea trailer like Infinity War had, where it's a quick recap and some new footage at the end. Yeah, I forgot about that campaign. That was awesome.
Yeah,
I was
really
awesome. All right, let's see. What else? Go, pal. You mentioned Marvel music, and now I'm remembering all the spots in First Steps when it felt like the score was going to hit the Avengers fanfare.
Yeah.
I actually forgot about that too. Yeah. No, I think that would be awesome. Go, pal, or I think it was awesome. Excuse me. Lord Jesus. Chew sounds like an Elseworld zombie.
Kind of, in a way. I can see that. It's a weird one, y'all. I love superhero comics. It's part of how I got to start doing this on Fridays. But man, there are so many other comics out there that have nothing to do with superheroes that maybe have powers like Chew, or there's things like, Crispy Rice, all kinds of stuff. There's really good stuff out there that you can expand your horizons to and check out.
Yeah, and I mean, we have covered a lot of comics that are not just directly like DC Marvel stuff for sure. We used to obviously have the collab with Boom Studios and all that kind of stuff, so we were covering a lot of those comics. Loved the comic that Keanu helped co-create in Berserker. It's awesome. So yeah, no, I agree. I maybe I need to reach you. You've kind of sold me on this. It's very effed up sounding, but I sold.
It's weird.
My cat, turn any video game into a live action movie. I mean, I always feel like the Final Fantasies are always ripe for farming stories into movies. So I'd be there for that. What do you got? Anything come to mind?
Lunar could be cool.
Which one?
Lunar. It's a throwback game. Okay. It's fun. It's got like dragons and all kinds of stuff. It's great.
Yeah. Okay. I would say Metal Gear Solid. I would love to see a live action Metal Gear Solid. I think that would be fantastic. The only thing that always made me laugh about Metal Gear Solid is that it felt like Liquid and Solid actually never looked like each other. So when they'd always be like, the twins, he looks just like the boss. No, he doesn't. Not even with the blonde hair. Now, mind you, I get that there's bad pixelation back in the day, but then even when you started to render them out in like Metal Gear Solid 4 and whatnot like that, I still thought they never looked like each other. That is ridiculous. when they would show modern photos of him, even though he's in Ocelot's body. Did you play the Metal Gear Solid series? Am I speaking like a foreign language right now?
I am aware of the series. I never played it myself.
Fantastic.
But
One
I've
of the
watched
best.
enough Miss Mojo to see some of the horrible rendering.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Gopal, one of the Animaniacs is a how do I pronounce it again?
Scouser
beetle copy.
Yeah. Wacko.
Oh, is he?
With his little voice down here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Yes. Okay. Now wow. Thank you for that. Mr. Crap and Shits, just wanted to say hi. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Mr. Crap and Shits. You have a wonderful weekend as well. Keep sending them in, y'all. We've got some time. We've got about 20 minutes left, or when we run out of super chat questions, we're at about 40. So we're decent ways away. We're doing a good job, but let's keep it pushing and see if we can somehow catch Kristian. Drew V5150. Are you familiar with Scott Snyder's comic American Vampire? It's an amazing take on vampire lore with amazing characters that is way overdue for an HBO adaptation. I highly recommend the series. I am not familiar with it. Let me write that down.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I'm so excited. I think finally the second season of Interview with the Vampire is on Netflix. And because I don't have the AMC streaming service, I am so excited to jump in and watch that because that was so good.
They have one. There's just too many damn streaming services.
Too many
at this
things.
Point. God. Comic. Okay, great. I'm going to be reading that. Thank you for the recommendation.
Yeah.
Geek Lodestars. Watch Good Boy yesterday. Indy is a movie star. Is that the name of the pup?
That's the dog. Yeah.
Aww.
What I am excited about with this movie too is the director it's his dog. And so it was just, I don't want this dog to suffer in any way. So I'm doing everything around his schedule, which was apparently a nightmare to film.
Oh my God.
It was just, when Indy wants to play, that's when we're going to try to film these things. When Indy is sleeping, that's when I'm going to film him sleeping.
That's kind of crazy, but I respect it, man. I fully respect it. Look, Indy probably also to the point where wasn't it an indie made movie and then they just got distro? Same thing. You do what you can. It's like you do what you can. You can't pay for the oh my God, what's the name of the animal training company from Nope? Kiki and Daniel run. You can't afford all of the most expensive animals in Hollywood, No. Ba weep gran weep nini bong. Kristian know this.
Is this the universal greeting from Transformers? Ba weep gran weep nini bong. Yeah, that's what it is, right? Am I wrong?
I don't know if I've actually also never seen it.
Okay.
It was between you and me who was going to end up watching it together. So I'm just I was like, that's fine. I'm watching Demon Slayer. Mark Long says hi. Thank you, Mark Long. The G-Man. Hi, Winston and Chris. A comic adaptation I want is Ed Brubaker's Sleeper. Familiar with that? Let's see.
That is, if I recall correctly, I mean, it's Ed Brubaker, so I'm assuming detective story.
Yes. Let's see. I believe set in the Wildstorm universe and concerned the trials and tribulations of Holden Carver, a covert operative who has been placed undercover in a villainous organization led by Tao, a Wildcats villain from Alan Moore's run. It's a spinoff of Point Blank, a miniseries about Grifter from Wildcats and John Lynch from Jen. Interesting.
Oh, that sounds very cool. That sounds very cinematic.
Yeah, I mean, just the artwork. The artwork is beautiful.
I'll have to check it out.
Kind of like creepy, but beautiful. I like it. Thanks for the recommendation, G-Man. I'm gonna write that down too, and it sounds like it might be a good adaptation. Gregory Dopp, Friday Cheers. Sergio Argones Gro the Wanderer.
I'm not familiar with that.
I am not as well. Sorry, Gregory, if you want to clarify just a little bit in the chat, we can put it up there. Sorry about that. Shay Markel, hey, awesome crew. Thank you so much, Shay. Appreciate you. Mr. CJ, Chris, how many pause it for Ben Barnes?
Don't worry about it.
Pause it. Pause it. Pause it.
Man, Luke's dragging me, but accurate.
Mustard.
just straight. Go, pal. If you haven't, you must see Skins, Jack O'Connell in Gen 2, Holt, Dev Patel, and Kaluuya in Gen 1, Kaya Scodolero in both. My lady swears by Skins.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
It's really well done. It's sometimes hard to watch.
I've heard, yeah. But I also didn't realize so many of like the top British actors right now came from that show. Like many of them.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much everybody on that show became a star, more or less, is what I've essentially seen. So
absolutely.
Kame Agan, I hoped the Doomsday teaser isn't going to be a chair watch 2 because the first one was like rewatching Secret Invasion. God damn.
I have done such a good job of removing that show from my brain.
Yeah.
And then it gets brought up and I'm like, oh, no. There.
Yeah, no, it's just kind of sitting there. I don't know. Man. I really didn't like that movie. The only thing that I liked from that movie was show, excuse me, not movie, the show was Samuel L. Jackson's acting with the woman that was portraying his wife. I actually thought their interactions were fantastic. And that was the only thing about the show that was good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next one from Christian DeHoy. Picks for casting the DCU Catwoman. What you got?
I don't know, because I want to know who my Batman is and base the chemistry around that.
Yeah. No, I get that. I agree. I'm a big fan of her work. Amanda Seyfried.
Oh.
I think that she would do a pretty good job with it. Daisy Ridley, I think would be
Daisy
a good
Ridley
choice.
Could be very fun.
Those are the two that stick out in my mind.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They're kind of wasting her in the MCU. Played Agent 13, turned into the broker.
Yes.
Emily Van Camp.
Yeah.
Emily Van Camp, I think, would be a really good Catwoman as well.
That's fun.
What about you?
I really don't know. I'm trying to think of some folks right now that I would be interested in seeing in that. Because one of my favorite runs for Selena in particular is the Catwoman win in Rome, coming off the heels of like Long Halloween and Dark Victory. And so I'm trying to think of who I want in that story in particular. I know that that's not what they're going to adapt, but I'm trying to kind of think through that one. I'll have to give that a really long think. That's a great question, though. Good job, Christian.
Yeah, no, that was a good one, Christian. Thank you so much for that. Mike Cat, I'd love a stop motion animated rated R The Max. Why does that sound so familiar? What was because I feel like that was. Yes. Oh my God. This creepy ass. Yes. This comic is nuts because they did a TV show for a while.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember what all his powers were, but yeah, what the synopsis for the TV show: confused, hulking, homeless superhero the Max tries to protect his social worker and friend Julie from an omniscient serial killer, Mr. Gone, both in the real world, which may or may not actually be real, and the subconscious fantasy world. Yeah, I vaguely remember the show. And it was pretty insane. I'm gonna have to go look. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. I'm gonna rewatch that show because.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I popped on the wiki and this is dark.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did you watch Doom Patrol when they did that show?
Yeah.
It was so good, and my God, we already knew he was a great actor, but oh God, there goes my brain yet again. Who plays
Brandon
Mr.
Fraser?
Nobody. No, plays Mr. Nobody.
Alan Tudyk.
Thank you. Alan Tudyk crushes in that role, man. Like it's so absolutely insane. And I kind of want Doom Patrol back. I mean, it was time to end it, but like they were all doing an incredible job in that show for real. So
that show was great. I loved it.
Really was. Eclipse. Do either of you plan to play Ghost of Yote? Is that or Yotai? Excuse me. Ghosts of Yot. Is that the follow up to the Ghosts of Tsushima?
I
I think
believe
it
so.
is.
Yes.
I think it is.
Yes, it is.
I still need to play the first one. I realized that this one
Yeah.
dropped yesterday. So I still need to play the first one, but it also looks like it's for PlayStation 5 only. And I do not have a PS5. After my Sony account got hacked on my PS4, I was like, and Sony would not help me. I was like, it's going to be a long time before I buy another Sony console. I was pretty pissed.
Yeah, I do not blame you.
Like lost thousands of dollars of games because of that shit. And I could never get it back. So,
That
it is what
stinks.
it is.
I need to play these. I know that. And a friend of mine just announced on Instagram that he's one of the voices in this. So I should play these and be a good supportive friend.
Yes, you should. You 1000% should. And our last one for now, Andrew Carnes. I see DCU keeping our Pat after the Reeves trilogy, then saying if you want to think Reeves films are canon as young Bruce, okay, fine. And if not, that's okay too. Interesting.
Oh, that's fun
actually
take.
a take I've never heard. Instead, they're just trying to like cross-pollinate, but we did get him year 2, and we did just jump into the deep end with Superman of like, yeah, metas have just been around, which just means Bruce would be around at this point. So that's actually kind of interesting.
That's very cool. I still wonder tonally how they all fit together.
Right.
But I think that's a pretty cool take on it.
Yeah, I actually like that too. All right. Well, as of right now, that is our last one at 44. So didn't quite catch up to the boss man, but we did a pretty good job. Thank you so much to everybody that did it. So before we get out of here, and if any other ones come in, we'll obviously read them before we go. Chris, one more time, let the people know where they can find you, what you got going on, etc., etc.
Okay. Well, I have my podcast too, Filthy Casuals Pod, over on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. We drop new episodes every Friday at about 8 a.m. So you can always check those out. We also have a Patreon if you want 2 unedited, unfiltered episodes. And it's just $5 a month for less than a cup of crappy coffee. You could get 2 bonus podcasts. Come on. And also, it's only Amy and I running things, so we need all the help we can get. So thanks, you guys. If you are interested in voiceover, check out speakfriendstudios.com, where my husband and I run our Lord of the Rings themed voiceover studio. If you ever want to learn about how to get into voice acting. And that's pretty much it for me.
Pause it.
Just gotta get one more. Dude, what'd you say?
So I'll just be pausing Netflix in my spare time, having a fun time. Don't worry about it.
Motherfucking Batman!
I think the funniest part about the clip is how hard I'm cheesing while that's happening, just because.
Motherfucking Batman!
Hard. You can find me at the Swaggy Blurred on all platforms here on YouTube. On Mondays, I got the Blurred Breakdown, the pop culture show for when you need to know, see what happened was. Tuesdays on the John Roca channel, Spill the Tequila, myself and John Roca. Wednesdays, Blurreds in the Hood, youtube.com/Blurreds in the Hood, myself and Jay Washington. Fridays, right here with you on Capes and Cows with myself, Kristian, and Chris. And of course, Kristian and I have been doing Christian's been doing reactions in general, but the two of us have been doing Demon Slayer. This weekend will be, what is this, episodes 9 through 12. So please, if you were interested in it at all, I saw the Fanimator was in there somewhere, and I know obviously he loves animation as well, and everybody else. Go watch those. The first wave of videos did pretty well. The second wave didn't do quite as well. If you want to see it continue, those numbers have got to come back up. So please go watch them and tell your friends and hit the hype button and all that. And other than that, thank you so much. Oh, we got another 2 in. Sorry about that. You guys should do a DC KO tournament picks video. What is the DC KO?
DC KO? Like we do our own bracket of who would kick each other's butt, or?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand DCKO bracket. Let's see.
Oh, because DC has a bracket challenge.
Oh yeah.
The
road to DCKO.
Yeah.
Okay. I think maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's fun.
That is actually really interesting because then because I'm also like, I love Batman. I don't know if this is like a Secret Wars type thing. What Batman gonna do to like just straight up Superman, no prep time? You better have that damn kryptonite in your belt. But maybe that's not a bad idea. I'm kind of into that. And my cat comes in with another one. Will we ever see Eternals again? Wasted potential, as I'm assuming what they're saying there. I think somewhat in Secret Wars. I think you're not going to completely abandon and pretend like it never happened, but I don't think we're getting a sequel. I don't think that we're really going to get whatever the storyline was supposed to be with Kit Harington as the Black Knight. I think that's especially because we don't even know if we're getting Blade anymore. Blade Knight is like kind of the extent of it right now. Yeah. So I don't know what you think.
Marvel Zombies and What If keep giving me hope that those storylines get brought into the live action. I really hope we see the Eternals come back because, I mean, one, we have the literal looming celestial issue of like, can we address that? And I really enjoyed that movie. I think people weren't ready for it or just it wasn't the kind of superhero fare that they were used to. And I feel like now in this time where we're constantly talking about superhero fatigue, which I don't believe in, it's mediocrity fatigue. But I feel like that was one where it was, hey, we're exploring moral ambiguity. We are exploring whether or not superheroes have the right to step in or should step into other problems, or if they should just be observers and what your actual responsibility is. There were so many great things in that movie. And then people just got thrown off by some android smashing.
No, I know. And to be honest with you, AXE would have been a really fun event to eventually do. Which I'm sure you're familiar with that comic run that just ended a couple years ago. AXE was awesome. And I would have loved to have seen that, but I don't know if the Eternals are really going to make the kind of comeback that kind of stuff will happen. I think that's kind of dead in the water. We got another one that just came in. Marcus M. DCU Teen Titans lineup. I mean, again, I feel like the rate that we're going, since you're already doing the Justice League kind of Justice League Unlimited animated series type stuff, that actually was, the animation style is a little different, was like pretty loosely tied to that Teen Titans cartoon that came out. So give me that 5 as well. Give me a Robin, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Raven, and Starfire, and then you can always expand the team out from there. I feel like that would be pretty cool. But
I'm such a big fan of Young Justice, so we can also go that route as well.
Too. I do love me some Young Justice.
Super fun. Acting wise, the only name I'd want is is it Justin Tremblay? He's also the voice of Damien on Harley Quinn.
Yes. I
think it'd be fun to have him in the mix. Maybe as Beast Boy.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Just I again, I mostly want unknowns, but I think it'd be fun to throw him in there as like Robin or Beast Boy and just go, let's see how this happens.
No, absolutely. Mike Cat comes in. Okay, well, what about Paul Giamatti for the ventriloquist Scarface? Excuse me. The only role for Paul Giamatti is very clearly
motherfucking Batman.
But I appreciate you at least trying to come up with an idea to include him. Thank you so much for that, Mike Cat, and thank you so much for that super chat. And with that, y'all, we're gonna call it. Thank you so much again for watching Capes and Cowls. Come on back if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, man. Get in the comments. Let us know what's going on. Check out all of the stuff that Chris mentioned back on her channel and the podcast and the voiceover stuff. Check out everything going on with my channel. And of course, check out all the stuff on here, the reactions, the other live shows, all the stuff that you got going on. I think Kristian's trying to get to 250 by the end of the year, and we're rolling along. We're getting closer and closer. So come help a brother out. We would appreciate that. And with that, we will see y'all next week on Capes and Cowls. Bye-bye.